My fiancée texted from the altar, "I'm not coming. My ex just bought me a Ferrari." I replied to the priest, "Give me a minute." Then I texted her back a screenshot of the $10 million trust fund that vested only upon my marriage. Her scream as she heard the limo speeding away. 32 male. "You know, you spend your whole life trying to be a good guy. You work a quiet job. I'm an architectural historian. You pay your bills. You treat people with respect. You think you're building a life? You even find someone you think wants to build it with you. And then you're standing at an altar, in a suit that costs more than your car, looking at 150 guests." The music had stopped. The organist was just kind of shuffling sheet music. My best man Ronan was shifting his weight. Everyone was looking at the big oak doors at the back of the church. Clara, 29, was 20 minutes late. "Maybe the limo got a flat?" Her mother, Maureen, whispered, bustling up to me, her face a mask of fake concern. "She's always been so scatterbrained." I just nodded. My stomach felt like it was full of wet cement. Then my phone buzzed in my pocket. A text. I know. Who texted the groom at the altar? The officiant, Father Thomas, gave me a sympathetic look. "Son, should we?" I pulled out my phone. The buzz was from Clara. "Clara, I'm not coming. I'm so sorry, but I can't. Julian is here. He bought me a Ferrari, a red one. I just can't throw away true love. Sorry, not sorry, ex." I read it 3 times. A Ferrari. She was dumping me at the altar via text for her crypto bro ex in a car. The room was silent, everyone staring. I could feel the heat of 150 pairs of eyes. "Leo," Father Thomas said, stepping closer. "Is everything all right?" I held up a hand. My voice came out, but it didn't sound like mine. It was way too calm. "Give me a minute, Father." I looked down at the text. Sorry, not sorry. A weird, cold calm washed over me. The wet cement in my stomach hardened into a block of ice. I wasn't even sad. I was just done. See, I never told Clara the whole truth about my family's money. She knew I had a comfortable background. She knew my grandfather was an eccentric old goat who left a complicated will. She thought I was just a boring, slightly well-off historian who was responsible. She had no idea about the clause. My grandfather, a manipulative genius even from the grave, set up a $10 million trust fund for me. But it had one insane medieval stipulation. I had to be legally married by my 33rd birthday. My 33rd birthday is in 4 weeks. I had never told her this. I wanted someone to marry me, the boring historian, not the $10 million jackpot. I thought Clara, despite her love of, well, things, was that person. I was wrong. I opened my phone's file folder. I found the PDF my lawyer, Naomi, had sent me last week when we were reviewing the final details. It was the key page of the will. I took a screenshot. I highlighted the specific clause. And upon the legal marriage of my grandson, Leo Alistair Vance, provided said marriage occurs before his 33rd birthday, the full principal of the $10 million US trust shall immediately vest. I opened my texts to Clara. I attached the screenshot. My fingers typed, "Enjoy the car. I'm sure it's worth it." I hit send. I put the phone back in my pocket. I looked up at Father Thomas. His face was all concern. And then I heard it. From outside the church. It wasn't a scream of joy. It was a scream of pure animal rage. A second later, I heard the sound of the vintage white Rolls-Royce I'd rented for her. The one I'd given the driver very specific instructions for, speeding away from the curb. I'd told him, "If she's not in this car by 2:15 p.m., you leave. You take the scenic route back to the rental agency. Do not, under any circumstances, stop for her." It was 2:23 p.m. I turned back to the room. My voice was loud, clear. "I'm afraid there won't be a wedding today." A collective gasp. Maureen, Clara's mom, looked like I'd slapped her. My fiancée has just informed me she's accepted a competing offer. It seems a 2019 Ferrari beats a 2016 Honda. A few people laughed nervously. "But," I continued, "the catering is paid for. The reception hall is booked, and it is emphatically an open bar. Please, go. Enjoy yourselves, my treat." I turned, walked past the altar, and went out the side door into the small garden. I didn't look back. I just walked. Update 1. It's been a week. I'm writing this from a sterile-smelling extended stay hotel room. My life has been loud. The first 48 hours were a blur. I turned my phone off. I just walked around the city until my feet blistered, then checked into this place. When I finally turned my phone back on, it was like opening a portal to hell. I had 88 missed calls, mostly from her family. The entitlement hit like a tidal wave. First, the voicemail from her mother Maureen. It wasn't sad. It was furious. "Leo, you call me back. You call me back right now. How dare you? How dare you humiliate my daughter like that? That trick. Hiding that money. You trapped her. You set her up to fail. This is financial abuse, Leo. Abuse. She made a mistake, a silly mistake. You think a car matters. You were supposed to love her. You've ruined her life. You hear me? You owe us. Us." She said us. Then the texts from Clara, from her bridesmaid's phone. "Leo, baby, turn your phone on. We need to talk. I know you're angry, but you have to understand. Julian is a monster. He manipulated me. He showed up and I was so stressed from the wedding, I didn't know what I was doing. That car isn't even new. It's a 2019 and the registration is sketchy. He's gone. He just dropped me at my mom's and left. Please, baby, I love you. It was always you. We can still fix this. We can go to the courthouse. Right now, we can still make the deadline. Please, Leo, I'm begging you. Don't throw this away over one stupid mistake." The deadline. My 33rd birthday. She's right, the clock is ticking. But her one stupid mistake wasn't the text. It was what I found out next. I got an alert from my credit card company, the one she was an authorized user on. I'd frozen the card right after I left the church, but the alert was for a declined charge. Date, the morning of the wedding. Amount, $20,000. Merchant, Exotic Auto Leasing and Sales. I called the card company. The agent confirmed it. "Yes, sir, it was declined. Was this a fraudulent charge?" "No," I said, my voice hoarse. "It was just an unauthorized one. Thank you for declining it." She wasn't just accepting a car. She was trying to use my money to help Julian buy the car, probably as a down payment. The text from the altar wasn't an impulse. It was the confirmation that her new plan had failed and she was moving to Plan B, the Ferrari. When Plan B, the Ferrari, also turned out to be a bust, she's trying to crawl back to Plan A, me. My blood went cold. This wasn't a mistake. This was a transaction. I called my lawyer, Naomi. "Naomi," I said, "she's not getting a cent, but she's still in my apartment." "Okay, Leo," Naomi said, her voice all business. "First, good job on freezing the cards. Send me that declined charge info. It proves intent. Second, the apartment. Your name is the only one on the lease, correct?" "Correct." "Then she's a tenant at will. You need to formally evict her. But you can't just change the locks, you need to get your things. I suggest a police escort, just to keep the peace." So that's what I did. 2 officers, a man and a woman who both looked profoundly tired, met me at my apartment building. I knocked. Clara opened it, her face puffy from crying. When she saw me, her face lit up like I was the hero arriving. "Leo, thank God, I knew you'd come back. I'm so sorry, baby." She moved to hug me. I stepped back. "I'm not here for that, Clara. I'm here for my clothes and my laptop." Her face changed. "What? What are you? Who are they?" She saw the cops. "Oh my God, you're having me arrested?" She burst into tears. "Officers, he's abusing me. He's trying to intimidate me." The female officer sighed. "Ma'am, we're not arresting anyone. Is your name on the lease?" "Well, no, but this is our home. We built a life here." "Ma'am, he's the leaseholder. He's allowed to retrieve his property, and he's allowed to ask you to leave." Clara's head snapped toward me. The tears stopped. Pure venom. You bastard, you're kicking me out? After you humiliated me? Where am I supposed to go?" "You went to Julian's pretty quick," I said, pushing past her into the bedroom. I grabbed my suitcase. "He's gone, you idiot. He left me. He said I was too much drama." I just kept packing. My toothbrush, my laptop charger. "You're really doing this?" she whispered, following me. "You're going to throw away $10 million just to spite me? Because that's what's going to happen. You have 3 weeks left, Leo." 3? You think anyone else is going to marry your boring ass in 3 weeks? You need me. You'll get nothing. You'll be just as poor as me. I stopped at the door. I looked her dead in the eye. "I'd rather have nothing, Clara, than have one more conversation with you." I turned to the cops. "I'm done here. She'll be served with a formal 30-day notice to vacate by my lawyer." 30 days? She shrieked. "You can't." I walked out. The cop stayed for another minute, explaining the civil process to her. I didn't care. I just wanted to be clean. Update 2. It's been 2 weeks. I have 15 days left until my 33rd birthday, and the games have escalated. Clara is not going quietly. The entitlement it's breathtaking, really. First, the lawsuit. I got served at my hotel. She's suing me. Get this. Breach of promise to marry. Her lawyer, some guy whose face is on a bus bench, is claiming I abandoned her at the altar. His proof is that I maliciously arranged for the limo to leave her and then publicly shamed her at the reception. Intentional infliction of emotional distress, because I trapped her by fraudulently concealing my $10 million trust fund. The argument is that if she'd known about the money, she never would have been temporarily confused by the Ferrari. She's claiming I engineered her betrayal. The demand: $5,000. Exactly half of the trust fund she didn't get. Naomi just laughed when I sent her the filing. Breach of promise isn't a recognized cause of action in this state, Leo. It's frivolous. We'll file a motion to dismiss and countersue for legal fees. This is a shakedown, nothing more. But the lawsuit isn't the real problem. The apartment is. She's refusing to leave. She's a squatter. Naomi sent the 30-day notice. Clara tore it up. I went by last week, stupid I know, to see if she'd moved. She changed the locks. I stood there, my key useless in the door. I could hear my TV playing inside. I knocked. Go away, Leo, she yelled through the door. You'll have to drag me out of here. I have rights. This is my home. Clara, you're not on the lease. You're making this so much worse for yourself. You made this worse. You're a vindictive, horrible man. I'm calling the police for harassment. I just left. I called Naomi. She changed the locks. Naomi sighed. Okay. She's just cost herself a lot of money. We can't just break in. We have to start the formal legal eviction process. It's slow. It's annoying, but it's the only way. I'll file the unlawful detainer first thing tomorrow. So now I'm paying for an eviction lawyer and a hotel room, all while she lives in my apartment. But that's not even the worst part. Yesterday I got a call. A strange number. Hi, is this Leo Vance? Yes. This is Julian, Clara's, my blood pressure spiked. What do you want? Look, man, I gotta be honest. She's blowing up my phone. She's insane. She keeps saying I ruined her $10 million payday and that I owe her. She's threatening to sue me now. I wanted to say, sorry, man. That Ferrari was a 3-day rental. I was just trying to, I didn't think she'd actually leave you at the altar. That's cold. Yeah, Julian, it was. Thanks for the call. He hung up. Even the crypto bro X thinks she's nuts. But the real kick in the teeth happened this morning. I hired a PI, not for Clara, but for my stuff. While I was packing my clothes, I didn't have time to grab everything. I left behind my books, my kitchen stuff, and my grandfather's maps. This is the part that makes me angry. The money is just money. But my grandfather, the crazy trust fund guy, was a cartographer. When I got my degree, he gave me a set of 4 17th century celestial maps. They're beautiful, and they're the only part of him I actually liked. They were on the living room wall. They weren't there when I did my 30-second sweep. The PI I hired is a gruff ex-cop. Took him 24 hours. She sold him, kid. Sold him to a rare print dealer downtown. Got $18,000 for the set. $18,000. I saw red. I went straight to the shop. It was a high-end place, all quiet and dark wood. I found the maps framed beautifully on the wall. These are mine, I said to the owner. He was a fussy man in a bow tie. I beg your pardon? I bought those from a young lady this week, a Miss Clara. She stole them. They were a gift to me from my grandfather. They are not hers to sell. I pulled out my phone. I have pictures of me receiving them. I have the insurance rider. The owner's face paled. This is highly irregular. Here's my card and my lawyer's card, and here is the police report I am filing right now for felony theft. I called the non-emergency line right there. The owner, not wanting his shop involved in a felony, immediately agreed to hold the maps. 5 minutes after I left, my phone rang. Clara, you sent the cops? She shrieked. She must have been called by the dealer and the police. You're pressing charges? For some dusty old paper? I needed money, Leo. You cut me off. You left me with nothing. You forced me to sell those. You owe me that money. I hate you. The call cut out. So that's where I am. I'm suing my ex-fiancée for eviction. I'm pressing charges against her for felony theft. She's suing me for $5 million, and I have 15 days to get married, or lose $10 million. Honestly, I'm starting not to care about the money. I just want those maps back, and I want her out of my life. Final update. It's been a month. The deadline, my 33rd birthday, was 3 days ago. It's over, all of it. I'm writing this from my apartment. It smells like paint and lemon cleaner. It's finally quiet. Here's the rundown. The eviction. We had our day in court. Clara showed up with her bus bench lawyer, looking like a wreck. Julian was, unsurprisingly, nowhere to be seen. She tried to cry. She told the judge I was a vindictive millionaire who was throwing a grieving woman into the street out of spite. She said I was unstable and controlling. Her lawyer tried to argue that her $5 million lawsuit gave her a financial stake in the apartment. The judge, who looked like she'd seen 1,000 Claras, was not impressed. "Ma'am, are you on the lease?" "No, but are you paying rent?" He cut me off. "I can't." "Did you change the locks on the legal leaseholder's dwelling?" He threatened me. The judge looked at Naomi, who just handed him the file. "Eviction granted. Miss Clara's last name, you have 48 hours to vacate the premises. A sheriff will be there to escort you out if you are not gone." Clara just slumped. Her lawyer looked like he already regretted taking the case. The theft. The DA was happy to press charges. Felony theft. Given the evidence, my insurance, the dealer's testimony, her lawyer basically forced her to take a plea. It got rolled into the eviction hearing. She pled no contest. She has to pay $18,000 in restitution to me for the maps, which I got back from the dealer, plus the dealer's holding fees. She has 2 years of probation. She has no job and no money. I'll probably never see a dime of that, but it's the conviction that matters. The $5 million lawsuit. Naomi filed the motion to dismiss. The judge took one look at it and threw the entire case out. Laughed, even. He also granted Naomi's motion for our legal fees. So now Clara owes me about $15,000 in lawyer bills, on top of the $18,000 restitution. It was a clean sweep. Total. I was outside the courtroom just breathing when she came out. Her mother, Maureen, was with her. "Are you happy now?" Clara whispered, her eyes completely dead. "You ruined me. I have nothing. I have a record, all because of you." "All because of you, Clara," I said. "You did this, every single part of this." Maureen puffed up. "You'll get what's coming to you. That deadline passed, didn't it? You lost it all, didn't you? All that money. You got nothing. You're just as broke as we are now. Serves you right, you spiteful, selfish." "Actually," I said, cutting her off, "the trust vested." Clara's head snapped up. "What? No, you didn't, you wouldn't, who?" I just looked at her. The truth is, I did get married, 2 days before my birthday. After Clara sold my maps, I hit a low. I was sitting in my hotel room, looking at my bank account, just lost. And my best friend Maya kicked the door in, metaphorically. She's been my friend since college. She's a landscape architect, practical, no nonsense. And she's the only one I'd told about the trust years ago. "Leo," she said, sitting across from me. "You're an idiot." "Thanks, Maya." "No, you're an idiot for letting this vampire make you lose your mind. And you're an idiot if you let your psycho grandfather's ghost and that woman both win. What's the alternative? Find a stranger and get married in 10 days? That's insane." "No, I'll marry you." I just stared at her. "What?" "I'll marry you, Leo. We'll go to the courthouse, we'll sign the paper, it's a business transaction. We'll get the most ironclad post-nup Naomi can draft. Your money stays your money. My money stays mine. We'll be platonic partners. We protect your inheritance from your grandpa's spiteful cat sanctuary or whatever, and we protect you from ever being in this position again. It's just a signature. Better to be tied to a friend than to her." And she was right. It was the most logical, strategic, sane thing I'd heard in a month. So we did it. We went to the courthouse, we signed the paper. Naomi was our witness. It was simple. We went out for tacos afterward. Back in the present, outside the courtroom, Clara was staring at me. "Who?" she demanded. "Who did you marry?" "Maya," I said, her face. I'll never forget it. It wasn't sadness. It was the most profound, acidic rage I have ever seen. The rage of someone who just watched her lottery ticket get cashed by someone else. "Her?" she shrieked. That plain, boring. Her? You married her?" "Turns out I have a thing for boring," I said. "Boring is loyal. Boring doesn't steal. Boring doesn't trade a life for a rental car." I just walked away. Maureen was yelling something about annulment and fraud, but it was just noise. So, that's it. I'm back in my apartment. The maps are back on the wall. I'm 33,000 less in the hole from lawyer fees and hotel bills, which Naomi is garnishing from Clara. Good luck with that. But the trust is secure. Life is weird. I'm legally married to my best friend. We're not in love. We're not even living together. She has her own place. We're just partners. We're having dinner tonight to go over the tax implications with an accountant. It's not the fairy tale I thought I was getting. But as I sit here, in my quiet, clean apartment, with my maps on the wall, I've never felt more relieved. I'm not broke. And more importantly, I'm not with Clara. That's worth way more than $10 million.